It's startling, isn't it? I know it's a little startling. You can admit it. Just say it. It's startlingly red and handsome on me, this red shirt. Irene, good night. Irene, good night. Good night, Irene, good night, Irene. I'll see you in my dreams. Mike's Music Method. Hey y'all, if you're new to the channel, welcome. We're gonna have fun. And if you're an old horse, an old hat, well then, you know what's up. You know what to expect here at Mike's Music Method. Today we are doing another fantastic John Hurt shoulder shrugging ditty. Goodnight Irene. Obviously not his song. Is it Lead Bellies or is it even older than that? Someone comment below. I think it's Lead Bellies. Classic tune. Everyone has done this tune. If you are eager to tackle John Hurt, this is a great song to start with. It is, I think, probably by far the easiest John Hurt song I have done on here. Some of them are really complicated. So if you're excited about diving into that Hurt syncopation and the other ones were a little bit too difficult for you, start here. This is a great one. But as always, check out the Travis picking primer. It's a great video where I really dive into finger picking and how to think about it and understand it. I don't know what this means, but it has to do with knowledge and understanding. And then over here is the Travis picking playlist, which the first few are in order of difficulty, and then it's kind of a free-for-all after the fourth video in terms of just choosing the songs that you like. But here we are, John Hurt, not that hard. I give a harder version at the end. That's like, once you feel good about what you've done, you can up your game with a little peppier version of Hurt doing it. Standard tuning, G shape, GDC, GCD, 145, nothing crazy there. So much fun. I got nothing else to say. I'm just happy to be bringing you guys this song. Welcome aboard. Let's do it, John Hurt. Loosen up the shoulder, rub it a little bit. Have your loved one rub that left shoulder because we're gonna be grooving it a lot, just like Hurt does. If you haven't seen John Hurt play live, what are you doing? Get on YouTube now. Pause this video. Don't forget to come back to me. But go watch John Hurt shrugging that shoulder. It'll bring such joy to your life. Let's do it. Mike's Music Method. Measure 1. We have a G chord. And throughout this whole song, John Hurt is really heavy with that second and fourth beat. So it's 1, 2. Sorry, measure 1's a bad example. We'll talk about it in measure 2. But every time he does his thumb in this measure, we're hitting string 3 and 4. So usually when we're Travis picking, we're going between 6 and 4. But here we have 6 and he's hitting 4 and 3. So in other words, his thumb is going to be really heavy on that second and fourth hit. In this measure, it's an anomaly because he starts a song with a pinch on a G chord. And to make it easier too, I'm never using my middle finger because we're never going to play that fifth string. So I'm just using my ring finger and my pinky. I'm pinching 6 and 1. Then I have the thumb 3 times and I'm hitting 4 and 3. You don't have to be super accurate if you're occasionally hitting 2 or... it's pretty chunky kind of sound. Pinch, thumb, thumb, thumb. And then right to measure 2. Here's where we get the alternating 6, heavy, 4 and 3, 6, heavy, 4 and 3. And that measure 2 here is pinch, 6 and 1. I'm using thumb and middle on that pinch, by the way. Heavy thumb. Then thumb goes back to 6. I'm doing a quick third string open with my pointer finger, my index finger. So that's the end of the measure. It's thumb, third string, heavy thumb. Kind of messed it up there. So the whole measure, pinch, thumb, thumb, and thumb, pinch, thumb. So those first 2 measures. And right off the bat, I'm playing it clean and unmuted. But listen to Hurt and always practice palm muted as well. And of course, I'm playing an electric here, not an acoustic for the sake of just, I have a better tone. At some point, I probably should get a nice little mic that attaches to my guitar, but it's just way clearer for me to play on my electric, but just note your tone's gonna be a little bit different. First two measures. Measure 3, we go to a D chord, simple D chord. And our thumb, he's starting on the 5th string, so it's technically a D/A chord because he's putting the A in the bass. Got the 5th string, then heavy thumb, 4 and 3. And that's what the thumb is doing. But the first one's a pinch, so we're pinching 5 and 2. And then measure 4, we just continue with that. So pretty easy. Pinch, thumb, 5th, thumb, 5th. So do the first 4 measures together. Measure 5, we keep rolling on that D chord. And then it's kind of fun in measure 6. So measure 5, we pinching 5 and 1 with thumb and middle, then a heavy thumb. Then we have 5, 2, and I'm hitting my pointer finger, you know, getting the 3rd fret of that D chord there on the 2nd string. So thumb on the 5th, pointer on the 2nd. And then here we're doing thumb on the 4th. Again, if you can do the heavy thumb, do it. And then, but at the same time, we're pinching the 1st string. I'm using my middle finger. If you want, I suppose you could double duty the index, but I'm using my middle. So we have 5 and 1, heavy thumb. 5, 2, pinch. And I'm pinching 4 and 1. Again, if once you start getting good at it, you'll be able to pinch while also getting that heavy thumb, which can be kind of tricky. That's what you're trying to do there. And that might involve, you know, messing around with slightly tweaking how your right hand is resting on the guitar, the angle. Again, I'll always link to this guy's great video where it's all about kind of right hand technique. But remember, this is like a classical video, and even though it's really great for posture and not hurting yourself and being quick, right? Quick recovery means quick playing. But also know that John Hurt, some of these folk guys are going to break these very strict traditional classical rules. But it's still really helpful if you're struggling with right hand technique, where to put your hand and your arm and how to get the shape that I'm getting. The most common mistake is this, where your fingers are leading instead of your thumb. So watch that video. If you're playing like this, you shouldn't be. It should be like this. But anyways, we'll keep going. This is a cool measure. Let's do 5 again. So pinch, thumb, and pinch. Pinching with the middle, thumb, index, pinch with the middle. And then measure 6 is pinch 5 and 1, heavy thumb on 4 and 3. And then here you can use your thumb, but it doesn't really matter. You can use kind of whatever finger is easier for you. But the idea is 2 on the 6th string, open on the 2nd string. Then the 3rd fret on the 6th string, and then open on the 2nd again. So you got 2, open, 3, open. And the strings are 6, 2, 6, 2, thumb, pointer, So that whole measure, pinch, thumb. All sorts of different ways to finger it with your left hand, whatever you're comfortable with. You know what it's time for? It's time for the Mike's Music Method donation pitch to everyone who is subscribing to the channel and donating. Thank you. I really appreciate it. To anyone who is not, please consider the value for value model. That means take a moment to think of what these lessons mean to you. How valuable are they? Are they worth a kind email to your friend Mike thanking him for the hard work? Are they worth, $20 a video, $40 a video? Are they worth, pitching in, promise yourself the next 5 years of your guitar journey. You know what? I'm going to throw Mike $5 every month or $10 every month. Am I your private guitar teacher? Maybe I'm worth $160 a month. I don't know. It's a value for value model. Consider it. The only way that I can bring you more and more content and put more time into these videos is if you guys buy me a little bit of time. I teach a lot. I have 3 kids, so I'm a busy man, but I would love to bring more content to all the YouTubers out there. Again, I'm putting nothing behind a paywall, so people who don't have the means can still access what I think is fabulous content to make you a excellent finger picker. So it's going to be free. It always will be free. That is my promise to you. There will never be a paywall. But, you know, that's great value that I'm giving you. So please consider giving some value back. And you understand what I'm saying? The value for value model. And that's it. Let's get back to John Hurt. Measure 7. This pops up a lot in the song. Make sure you practice this one a whole bunch. We've got a G chord. Again, we just need these 2 fingers. That's it. We're we're doing 6. Then we're pinching 4 with 1. And again, that 4 is a heavy one. So 6 alone, heavy thumb, while pinching 1 at the same time with the middle finger. And then we immediately have a 6-3, which is thumb, pointer. Then we're gonna do a heavy thumb on the 4th string, but our middle finger is gonna go down on the 2nd fret. And then we're gonna pull off. Kinda makes sense, but you wanna keep that one down. So 6, pinch, 6-3, heavy thumb, but I'm putting my middle finger down on the 4th string, 2nd fret, and then I'm pulling it off. So one more time, sorry, 3, 4. We'll do it again, 3, 4. Sorry, that was way too heavy of a thumb. Haven't had enough coffee today or something. In measure 8, we're still on the G. We're pinching 6 and 1, heavy thumb, and then the same idea here, which was that 6-3, thumb, pointer, and then just a heavy thumb on 4 and 3. Pinch, thumb, thumb, and thumb. 6-1, thumb, 6-3, thumb. There's the first 8 measures. Let's put them all together. 3, 4. Slow, it hardly sounds like the song. Yeah, it's coming along. John Hurt. Measure 9. Like I said before, I think I said it before, this song has a lot of measures, but I promise there's a lot of repeat. It's actually pretty straightforward. And towards the end of the song, I just show you a more kind of complicated way. There's some different recordings of him doing it, and I was listening to one, and then when I listened to the second one, I realized he's actually doing a bit more than I thought. So here's the easy way that I'm showing you. We'll get to the other part later, but I'm just trying to encourage you that there's a lot of repeats, and the chord progression is super simple. So we're on 9 now, and here we're just kind of sticking on that same G idea again and again. Pinching, 6 and 1, heavy thumb, and then it's just 6, 1, thumb. So pinch 6 and 1, 4, 6, 1, 4. Measure 10's the same. Then 11, we go to a C chord, just regular C. It's really fun. So we have a pinch, 5 and 1, thumb on 4, heavy 1. I'm going to stop saying that. Every 2nd and 4th beat is a heavy thumb. It's not just the 4th string, it's always with the 3rd. So pinching 5 and 1, 4, 5, 1, or sorry, 5, 2. So that's the 2nd string there. So from the top, pinch 5 and 1, 4, 5, 2, pinch 4 and 1. Cool, and measure 12, really similar, but a different rhythmic feel. Pinch, thumb, thumb, and thumb. And the final ends on the 1st string this time. So 5 and 1, 4, 5, 1, 4. So both of those measures together. 3, 4. 13, back to a G chord. This is weird. This almost sounds like a mistake because he has a G. We're pinching 6 and 1, then he does 4. And then he quickly goes to a D chord and he does 5, 1, 4, 5, 1, 4. It almost sounds like he meant for that whole measure to be a D, but like played the wrong chord and just self-corrected because he doesn't do it later in the song when he plays through it. So up to you how your ear hears that part. Mine hears it as a D with that G being a mistake, but he does put it in there. So it's pinch, thumb, then to a D chord, and it's 5, 1, 4. Then we go to measure 14, we stay on that D chord. We pinch 5 and 2. Then it's the 4th string, so 5 and 2. And then here we do that walk again. He puts the 2nd fret, again, you can use your first finger or your thumb, but it's the 2nd fret on the 6th string, then pointer finger on the 2nd string. So 6, 2. And then he walks it up to the G, so it's 3rd fret on the 6th string and then open on the 2nd. So 2, 3, and then 3, open. So that whole measure. A bunch of different ways to finger it. I would just pick one and be consistent with it. So one more time. I think you got it. It's weird to play this measure alone. It just sounds so incomplete. But let's keep going. Then we have 15, which I believe we've seen before. Thumb, pinch, 4 and 1. Then it's that 6, 3. And then the thumb does the pull off from the 2nd fret off. And then the next measure is almost identical as well. What are we on? 16. We have pinch, 6 and 1. 4, 1. Pinch 6 and 1, 4, 1, and then it ends the same. 6, 3, that pull off. So those two last measures of G. And it's got that, you can't help but do it, the John Hurt classic shoulder shrug, because the syncopation is just so freaking cool. I love those two measures. So that's it so far. That's it. What I'm trying to say is go slow. Make sure you go over it, which is what we'll do together here. And we're learning. We're doing this together. Goodnight Irene. I know it's hard for many of you to admit that during this video, you've become a little bit envious of this red shirt. It's startling, isn't it? I know it's a little startling. You can admit it. Just say it. It's startlingly red and handsome on me, this red shirt. It's actually my uncle's old red shirt, if you can't tell. Well, he was a painter. I don't know if I got paint on it or he did. But anyways, it's startling. Just admit it. It's okay. You don't have to be embarrassed. Woof. That's our intro, and it's so awesome. Let's play the whole thing together. I know that's slow. It doesn't quite sound hoppy and happy like the song yet, but we'll get there. Let's do one slow run through, and then we'll try to do a little speed burst. So from the top, 2, 3, 4. There, that's the right muting about now. It's sounding cool now. That was probably a little too fast for you, but go slow, go at your own tempo. If you need to review any of the other measures, do that. And I'll timestamp below. I'll do another slow run through the entire song at the end, where it's even a little bit slower than that. But want to give you the overall feel so you can kind of follow along with the tab. Remember, all the tabs are free to download. None of my content is behind a paywall, so dive in, enjoy it. It is, my gift to you all. I'm happy to be teaching these great songs to you guys. But let's get to the verse and start singing. Let's start singing. So in the tab, I'm on measure 17. Again, this is the easier verse. Down below, we'll get to the harder one. But let's keep it simple for now. And it's always easier to add some additional things later on. So 17, I'm going to go through this pretty quick because we've seen most of this content and material in the intro, just slightly easier, and he sings to it. So we've got a G chord, pinching 6 and 1, 4, 6, 1, 4. And he does that twice. So it's pinch, thumb, 6, 1, thumb. Then we go to a D chord, and it's the same rhythm. Pinch. And one thing I'm adding on this D chord, for some reason, like it seems more clear on that chord than the other ones, but feel free to do this for all of them, which is in that set measure 19, like I'm just hearing that top, I'm hearing more than one string. So he's being very generous with that pick. He's kind of almost like strumming, whether you're doing your index or your middle, it's more of a strum on the top 2 strings than it is like a clean hit on just one of them. So that whole part is 3, 4, good night, Irene, good night, Irene, good night. So going from 21, we're kind of looping the same thing on the D here, pinch, thumb and thumb, pinch, thumb and thumb, and then when we get to 23, back to the G chord, and we've seen this before, thumb, pinch 4 and 1, 6, 3, and then you have that pull off from 2 and open with your thumb at the end. And then 24 there is pinch 6 and 1, 4, 6, 3, 4. Again, we've seen all this stuff in other places in the song, so I don't want to go through a whole, description of all of them. I think you get these ideas. If you don't get them, make sure that you just really have that intro nice and solid, because I don't want to lose you on the verse, but I don't want to bore everyone else by explaining the same kind of measure idea again. So that's it. Let's sing that one more time before we go on. 3, 4. Irene, good night. Irene, good night. Messed up the end there. There we go. And then 25, we're going to continue on that G chord. Pinch 6 and 1, 4, 6, 1, 4. Right? Same pattern as before. And then we interrupt it with a C chord here. And same idea, pinch. I think. Let's do that slower. Oh, here it's a little busier. So I'm pinching 6 and 1, and again, remember that 1 is more of a brush. We're also hitting 2 with it. 4 and that and is the index, or the first string again. So 5 and 1, 4, 1, 5, 1, 4, 1, 5, 1, 4. A little bit busier, but a very fun, hoppy measure, a little slower. Rhythm is 1, 2, and 3, and 4. Pinch, 2, and 3, and 4. Then a slightly simpler measure of C, which is just pinch, thumb, thumb, and thumb. Pinch, 4, 5, 1, 4. Measure. I know. The red shirt is brilliant. You can hardly contain yourself, but calm down. You can. I bet if you go to any store, I'm not going to name crappy brand name stores, I almost did, but I'm not going to give them brand recognition, but I bet you can find one of these at your local clothing store. Maybe. Not quite this red though, I know. I just admit it, you won't find one this red and beautiful. That's fine, just say it, it's okay. Vanishing sweater, it was too warm. And now measure 29, we go back to a D. Man, I really cannot play today. My fingers aren't cooperating. Fingers. Sometimes I bite them when they're not cooperating. No, I don't ever do that. Don't do that. So we're on 29. Pinch, thumb, thumb, and thumb. Same thing we did before on the D. 2 of those. And then here's the ending to a G chord. Thumb, pinch, 4 and 1. Well, I don't have to explain it because it's that cool little pull-off measure again. 6, 4 and 1, 6, 3, 4 with the thumb And then the final measure, pinch, thumb, thumb, and thumb. We've seen that before. 6, 1, 4, 6, 3, 4. And that's the tune. We will sing all of it, and then we'll talk about the harder version. All right, let's sing the whole thing slow from the top. Measure 17, the top of the verse here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Irene, good night. Irene, good night. Good night, Irene. Good night, Irene. I'll see you in my dreams. And that's it. It's not that hard. You did it. You're singing John Hurt. Get the shoulder going and be proud of yourself. I'm going to walk you through the more complicated version of like when I'm really listening in on certain recordings. It's a bit busier. So let's take the G chord, for example. And we have this. We have pinch 6 and 1. 4. Then it's 6, 1, 4, 2. 6, 1, 4, 2. So pinch, thumb, 6, 1, 4, 2. Pinch, thumb, 6, 1, 4, 2. So when you get it up to speed, you'll hear that it's really hoppy and fun. Oh, I messed it up that time. You get that really fun hop going on. And I know for some people that's going to be kind of complicated, but something to work on. Work on it slow. We're pinching 6 and 1. Thumb on 4. 6, 1, 4, 2. Pinch, thumb, 6, 1, 4, 2. Same thing on a D chord. We've got pinch 1, 5 and 1. 4, 5, 1, 4, 2. There's a weird guy wandering in my backyard. I'll be back. He's got a green bright vest on, so maybe he's the cable guy or something. But I don't know who he is, so I should probably check this out. Everything's fine. The assessor, who was going to make me pay more money on my property. I should have thrown I shouldn't have done anything. He was a very friendly man. All right, so we have, that's basically it. That's the harder part. You have pinch, thumb, 6, 1, 4, 2. Chord's going to be the exact same rhythmic idea, but it's pinch 5 and 1. 5, 1, 4, 2. And I'm doing, the first string is always the middle, the second string is the pointer. And that's how you get that kind of bigger, hoppier sound. And you did it. I'm so proud of you. You made it this far. It's a great song. Let's sing another couple slow verses together and we'll call it a day. We'll sing another verse here, but just know that the verse and the chorus are the exact same chord progression. So there's nothing new, just different lyrics. Not even the melody is new. So back to 17, we'll just loop it again. 1, 2. Sometimes, that was terrible counting. I want to give you a slow tempo, but not too slow. There we go. 3, 4. Sometimes I live in the country. Sometimes I live in town. Sometimes I take a great notion to jump in that river and drown. And that's it. That's the loop. You guys have it. It just kind of repeats and repeats. And take it at whatever skill level or difficulty you want. And you got it. It's yours. Later, y'all. Measure this red shirt. If you're really still thinking about it, first one to post to YouTube, themselves playing Goodnight Irene that they learned from this channel will get this red shirt. I'm serious. I might make you pay shipping and handling depending where you live, because it might actually be very expensive to ship overseas. I have a surprising amount of listeners in the UK. Welcome aboard. Give a shout out to you over across the pond. You guys make up like 12% of my viewership despite me being here in the States. So you guys love folk music. Someone comment below, some Englishmen. Tell me what is going on with that. Are you guys like still in love with your folk roots back there? That's very inspiring if there's still some finger pickers out there in the English countryside. But anyways, maybe you live close by and, you know, just post yourself doing a video, inquire about the red shirt, and I will ship it to you. I'm not a very big man. I don't want to give away my height on the internet. It sounds a little too personal. But I'm 5'7", I think, and maybe 150 something pounds. But, you know, think about it. I'll send it to you. White paint stain and all. There might be, I don't know about the armpits. It's so red that even if there were pit stains, no one would notice because the red is so brilliant.